Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So I'm doing an energy reading for the solar eclipse that will take place December the 26th. And what I'm feeling about this eclipse is that for a lot of you, it's basically like a final review going into 2020. So this is going to be like it's going to be like your time to really sit and reflect on everything that has happened this year, and it's going to help you to kind of purge any lingering energies that may be still present within you before you transition into 2020. So what I was seeing was the throat chakra, like I was seeing the color blue. So for a lot of you, this solar eclipse is going to basically encourage you to speak up, especially for those of you who have been kind of non-confrontational, or you have kind of just been quiet as people have mistreated you, or you just didn't want to rock the boat, so you just kind of like, you know, you didn't stand up for yourself or speak up as much as you should have. This solar eclipse may highlight that, meaning that you may look back on those instances and decide that from now on I'm going to speak up, from now on I'm going to voice my opinions, or I'm going to stand up for myself. But for some of you, it's not just going to be a review, like it's not just going to be a thought, you're actually going to do it. Like the solar eclipse is going to make you feel compelled to speak up and say something to someone who may have done something to you that you don't appreciate. So some of you could be like laying down the law like this solar eclipse, or it's like the energy is just going to wash over you. Like suddenly you're just going to get fed up and then say whatever it is that you need to say, and it's well overdue is what I'm hearing. For a lot of you also, I was hearing stability. So this solar eclipse, like one of the themes is going to be stability, whatever that means to you. So stability can mean finances, like financial stability. It could also mean emotional stability. Maybe you're reviewing like whether or not some of your relationships are stable, like what relationships you want to take with you into the new year, like what's rocky and what isn't. Things of that sort. Like a lot of you are just really wanting to be grounded in 2020. Like you're not wanting any fly by night whirlwind sort of bullshit in your life. Like you want grounded, solid, consistent, reliable. So for a lot of you, you're going to be reviewing the things in your life that have destabilized you this year. I hope, is that the word? Destabilized you this year. Like what was it that caused your finances to become unstable? You know, were you too wrapped up in your relationships, or was there too much drama going on? You know, what caused you to be emotionally unstable? Were you investing into people who weren't good for you? Like things like that. Like that's going to be a very big theme for this solar eclipse, is stability, what stability means to you, and what you need to do to maintain your stability within 2020, unlike the things that have gone on in 2019. All right, so let's jump into the cards. And oh, by the way, I am going to be extending this, so I'll leave the link to the extended video down in the description box as always. So yeah, let's jump into these cards. So the first two cards out are the Page of Pentacles and the Temperance card. So the Page of Pentacles in reverse, I'm getting a sense of embarrassment from this card. Some of you are feeling a bit of shame from some things that could have taken place within this year. And I'm going to do a whole different video on like 2020 and like what to expect, like what to leave behind in 2019 and what to expect moving forward. So again, this energy is specifically what's going to come up for the eclipse. But a lot of the eclipse energy is going to have to do with 2020 because, like I said, it's kind of like a time period to review for the upcoming energies. So like I said, for some of you, this Page of Pentacles is talking about being kind of ashamed here. So some of that shame surrounds having to start over, and you're really needing to shed this shame, because if you take this shame with you into 2020, it's just not going to be productive. Like it's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. It will only cause you to make even more mistakes, because when you're operating from a place of shame, it's almost like self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you're ashamed of yourself, so you think of yourself a certain way, like in a negative light, and then you make certain decisions based off of that shameful self-image. You see what I'm saying? So some of you are needing to not be afraid to start over, especially when it comes to finances. Like if you have suffered some sort of financial loss this year, you're needing to not let it eat you up, or like not let it get to you. Needing to learn how to really leave L's in the past, like accept them, learn from them, but don't beat yourself up over them and harbor that energy with you, because you won't be able to look forward and kind of like rebalance yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to be something that's going to come up with this eclipse. You may feel this sense of shame reviewing the year and realizing the ways in which you have to start over because you've become unstable in some way. And again, I'm saying finances, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be that you have to start over in your healing journey. Maybe this year you became unstable. You felt like you were doing really good on your healing work, and then something happened that derailed you this year. And so it's like that may come up in this eclipse as well. That feeling of shame because you have to start over, and you're needing to find a way to purge and clear that shame so that you can have a true fresh start. With the Temperance card being here, this lets me know that this energy is going to give you an opportunity to balance yourself out. Like I said, it depends on how you use it. When shame comes to the surface, or when shame is kind of like highlighted in our minds, some of us can take it and wallow in it and kind of just stay in that energy. Or it can be a great opportunity for you to balance yourself by giving yourself self-love, giving yourself a pep talk, and reminding yourself that everything that you went through, you have the ability to bounce back from, and you have the ability to recover from. I'm hearing that for a lot of you, this eclipse can be a bit emotionally overwhelming, so be mindful of that. You may need to take some time to yourself. You may need to not expose yourself to any high energy environments or high energy people. Like, you may need to be in a bit of a hermit mode for this eclipse, is what I'm hearing, in order to keep yourself balanced and stable. This will be a perfect opportunity too on the night of the eclipse, or I guess I'm hearing the night. Could be the day of, but I'm hearing the night that this takes place will be a good opportunity to set intentions, like to write out exactly what it is you are wanting to achieve and exactly how you plan on getting there, and you'll have the ability to manifest that. So going into hermit mode, writing out the ways in which you became unstable this year and the ways you plan to correct it from a place of self-love and compassion is going to be very beneficial for you, is what I'm seeing. So the next two cards out, we have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So with the Knight of Cups being here, some of you with this eclipse, oh goodness, I knew this was going to come up. I could just feel it. With the Knight of Cups being here, some of you are going to feel, it's a feeling of rejection that's coming to the surface. I had a strong feeling this was going to come up, especially because it's around the holiday time, and that's when rejection wounds can really start to flare up, depending on what the situation is. Like if you're in separation from someone, or if you just feel like you don't have genuine family or genuine love around you, like wounds can really come to the surface. So just kind of prepare yourself for that. Like I said, some of you, your best bet would be to go into a bit of hermit mode. Obviously, if the emotions are too overwhelming, you can reach out for help. But I feel like hermit mode is going to be very good for you to, like I said, reflect, give yourself a lot of compassion, set your intentions. It's like needing to take this energy, this eclipse energy that's going to feel kind of heavy. It's like taking it and flipping it to your advantage. Because if you're able to give yourself compassion during this time of like these emotions coming to the surface, you're pretty much prepared for anything at that point. Like once feelings of rejection or shame or things like that come to the surface, and you know how to handle them on your own in a healthy way from a place of like compassion, it's like you pretty much are learning how to take care of yourself emotionally, and it will be much easier for you going into 2020 with that set of tools. And for some of you, what I'm seeing is that 2019 was meant to teach you how to take care of yourself emotionally, or how to really pick yourself up out of the gutter. Like when you're feeling completely down and out, whether it be finances or whether it be your emotions, your mental health, like 2019 like really made it so that you had to pick yourself up out the gutter pretty much, and it was meant to be that way, to teach you that it's possible. And by teaching you that it's possible for you to be self-reliant, that is helping you to gain stability within yourself. I'm hearing that a lot of you search for stability outside of yourself sometimes, like you want a stable spouse, or you want stable friends, which is obviously that's something that we all should strive for. But sometimes when we feel unstable within, meaning that we don't feel like we have the ability to really take care of ourselves emotionally, mentally and things of that sort, we can then start attracting unstable situations into our life in the form of partners and friends who are just not reliable, who are very like flip-floppy, and who are just not there when you're at your lowest and at your weakest. So it's like 2019 was the year that you became very self-sufficient, and so these energies might come up again during this eclipse like one last time, you know, to kind of help you to review this and remember that you had the strength to get through it, and so therefore it's like you're becoming indestructible, almost like you're building that solid fortress within yourself, so that you know how to depend on yourself, and so that stability comes from within, and therefore you can trust yourself to take care of yourself no matter what's going on outside of you. Very, very valuable skill set to learn, that's going to be very beneficial for you moving forward. I'm hearing also that something speeding up for some of you is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing let me pull a card for that. Something is speeding up for you. So if an energy has been stagnant or very slow, this solar eclipse is suddenly going to catapult it forward. Let me pull one more. What is this? Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. If some of you have been in a mental prison for a long time, suddenly with this eclipse, it's going to feel like that burden is completely lifted out of nowhere. Like, some of you are going to be very shocked at the way that this is going to happen, because it's something that you really thought you could never completely break free from. It's some sort of like mental prison that you've been in, that the solar eclipse is going to wipe it right out. The privileged lady card is also here as well. So to me, that lets me know that you've been doing better than what you think. Like, if you've been trying to practice self-love and trying to put yourself first, but you feel like I'm not seeing any results, like what am I doing wrong, the eclipse is going to show you the results. Like, you actually have been making progress even if you don't know it, and it looks like that's going to come to the light during the eclipse. For some of you, someone is stepping in and helping you, is what I'm seeing. Like, they're giving you a helping hand. It's like they're putting you in a position to win, is what I'm hearing. I'm going to pull one more for that, because I feel like that's for a very specific group of you. You're being put in a position to win. Let me pull one more. Community. Yeah, for some of you, there may be like some help that's coming to you. This solar eclipse may bring in some sort of, because during the solar eclipse there is going to be a vibrational shift. Like, there is going to be a shift of energy. I know we all hear that in the spiritual community, we get tired of it. Oh, it's a shift, but it's true. Like, it's true. With an eclipse, there's definitely a vibrational shift, and that could bring someone new into your life, because when the frequency shifts, oh gosh, I cannot get my words out today. When the frequency shifts, that can attract random people into our life, because we are now on the frequency with random people now. You see, like, we've been on a certain frequency for a long time. We're familiar with it. Other people are on that same frequency. We're familiar with them. Our frequency shifts. Suddenly, random people start getting introduced into our lives that are very beneficial for us. So it looks like someone may be shifted into your life that is going to be beneficial for you, that's going to put you in a position to win. I'm not sure how, because it's going to be different for different people, but I do see them putting you in a position to win, giving you some sort of like startup or some sort of help that's going to kind of catapult you forward. So that's a positive thing. With the Five of Cups being here and the Page of Swords being here as well, the Five of Cups talks about grief. Again, I do feel like this eclipse is going to be a bit heavy. You know, that's nothing to fear. Like, don't turn that into a self-fulfilling prophecy where you think it's going to be heavy, so then, you know, you kind of psych yourself out and then it becomes emotionally heavy. I'm just saying, just go with it. If you do feel like a flood of emotions, or if you do feel very overwhelmed, and you start feeling this sense of grief, take some time out to practice self-love, practice self-care. That may be the perfect time to have a mental health day, is what I am seeing. Your mind is needing a rest. Okay, so during this solar eclipse energy, like, please just try not to think too much. I know that may be difficult. Try not to research too much. Try not to do anything that's too mentally straining. Try not to figure something out that is weighing on you, like that's not the day to sit and ponder it, because the emotions and the energy is going to be revved up times 10. So if it's something that's been really weighing on you or bothering you that you haven't been able to figure out, and it causes some sort of negative feeling in you, that feeling is going to be amplified times 10 with this solar eclipse energy. So it's just not the right time. It's not the right time. An example I can give just randomly, I'm not saying any of you are experiencing this, but just a random example. Let's say that you have been reading about narcissists, right? Maybe you are someone who's interested. Maybe you just got out of a relationship with the narcissist. You've been researching them, things of that sort. This will not be the day to do that, because it is going to be like, the emotional aspect of it is going to hit you 10 times harder, put it that way. If you are someone who's usually able to research certain things and kind of stay detached from it, meaning that you're just taking in the facts, it's going to be difficult to do that during this eclipse. You're not going to just be taking in the facts. You'll also be taking in the emotion times 10 when it comes to this eclipse. So just be very mindful of that. It's a day to just take it easy. Read very light content. Read, fiction books. Watch cartoons. Like, it is a time to be very, very lighthearted. It's not the time to do any deep diving, because you're going to dive a little too deep if you do that, is what I am seeing. All right, so we're going to continue this over at the extended. The next two cards I pulled are Justice and the Moon card in reverse. So not a surprise here. There is going to be some sort of balance that takes place with these eclipse, because with the Moon card being here, this means everything being laid out on the table. This goes back to some of you who are going to be speaking your truth, or someone speaking the truth to you. That's going to make you feel like you got justice. Like, some of you could expect an apology of some sort, because there's something to do with the throat chakra speaking, and somebody feeling like justice was served through that speaking. So we're going to dive deeper into that in the extended video. Thank you guys for watching, and the link to that will be in the description box, and it'll also be in the comment section. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my Vimeo channel.